Hey friends! Today I want to go back to an old video series that I started and did like 2 videos on, and that is Search the Shelves, where I pick a topic and look through all the books that I have to see if I can find some good suggestions for y'all. So today's topic is quests. Okay guys, I pulled 7 books from my shelves. All of them have a quest of some sort. Some are a little bit more ambiguous than others. I'm pretty excited about this because it's been a while since I've done one of these, but I really was excited about this idea of this series when I first started. I hope that looking at these quest books not only gives you some ideas, but gives you a little bit more insight into what's on my shelves. I'm gonna try and put some like taglines at the bottom. I'm thinking like they do on Netflix, where they give you kind of 3 keywords that describe a book. That way you can get a little bit more insight into the book. Hopefully I remember to actually edit this part in. But let's get started. 7 books, all involving a quest. Okay, so this first book is a favorite of mine. I first read it back in like 4th grade, and we read it in school. We just read like the first few chapters or something, and I remember enjoying that so much that I went and checked out the book, and now I own the book. I do need to get a new copy, but that's The Phantom Tollbooth. If you have not read The Phantom Tollbooth, please go do that. This book makes my heart so happy. It is not just nostalgic, but it's one of those books that is still good no matter what age I read it. This follows Milo, who is a bored little kid who thinks there's nothing left to do in the world until he gets a present, and it's a little toll booth. And he drives a car through that toll booth, and it takes him on a whole adventure. He goes through so many different imaginary lands trying to get back home, and along the way realizes that life may not be as boring as he thought. He has some great companions along the way, and it's just such an enjoyable book. I'm looking at my stack, and it seems like it's going to go back and forth between dark and light quests. This one definitely has a dark twist. This is Priest by Matthew Colville. We have a priest, Hayden, who's not your typical run-of-the-mill priest. He's very cynical for a priest, and he is sent to go investigate a murder that happened in the Green Order, which is an order of knights that protect the realm, basically. And one of their own was murdered. He doesn't know who's murdered them, and he's not sure if he can gain the knights' trust because there is a band of trolls headed their way. They know that the knights are not in peak condition, and they're going to use that as their opportunity to attack the town. So very much a quest type feeling book. There's a lot of amazing magical things and super descriptive moments in this book. I really enjoyed this, and it was one of those books where it grew on me more and more after the fact. Let's pick something just super fun and go with The Adventure Zone. This is a graphic novel series. It's a D&D set, so very, again, quest-based. There's a podcast to go along with it, so you have kind of an audio companion if you want one, and I definitely recommend it. The first book is Here There Be Goblins. It has 3 characters, Taco, Magnus, and Merle. They are on a quest to find out what happened to one of their companions, Barry Blue Jeans. It's as funny as it sounds. It's really enjoyable. The artwork in this is really good. It's a good fast-paced quest option, and I just love that there's an audio aspect, a podcast to go along with it. I think it really changes the reading experience and gives you something totally different. So I picked up this book initially because I love the author Marcus Zuzak and his book, The Book Thief. So once I had read The Book Thief, I kind of wanted to dig into some of his other works, and I picked up I Am Messenger. This is a very different style of quest. It is literary fiction. In this book, the main character, Ed, gets a playing card in the mail, and it has 3 names on the back, 3 people who live in a city. And at first he can't really figure out what's going on and then he realizes that all of them need help in some way. It is a very dark book. There's some serious topics covered in this. It's been a while since I've read it, but I would definitely look at trigger warnings. I remember the feeling that stuck with me after this book. While it may not be a quest in the typical sense of magical adventure, it definitely is a quest that Ed goes on to help his community members and, you know, help himself. Okay, if you're looking for a quest that comes with a super unique writing style, I would go with The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafran. This is such a unique book. The writing style is a little bit more abstract and flowery and beautiful. There is some really amazing characters in here and a little bit of a mystery that keeps you going till the very end. So in this we have Daniel, and Daniel finds a book at a library and falls in love with it. He tries to find other books written by the author, and for some reason there isn't any more at the library. And then he tries to find more copies of this book and can't. And through some research and some stories, he realizes that someone has been destroying all the books that this author wrote. And so his quest is to figure out what's going on. If you are one of those readers that loves reading books about books, this is a great one. And I think the underlying quest aspect of it really kind of grounds you, while the abstractness of the plot and everything else kind of just takes you on a whole different style of journey. 2 more books to go. The next one, if you're looking for more of a light read YA, I have Gods of Jade and Shadow. This was popular quite a while ago. It was one of my first book of the month picks and one of the only ones that I have. I read it very recently, and it's a very straightforward, easy read quest if that's what you're in the mood for. We have Cassiopeia, who works with her family. She's kind of like a shunned stepdaughter, and one day her family all goes off and leaves her behind as a punishment, and she opens up a family chest and it releases a god that she then has to go on a quest to help and send back to his own realm and take back his throne. It is very much a linear type quest, so let's go achieve this, then this, then this, which I really enjoy as a reader. I love that feeling of like accomplishment as we go, not only in books, but just everything that I do. This does still have some hard topics and some triggers that you should definitely look up as well for things like self-harm and suicide. It is a great read, and if you're looking for one of those straightforward quests, this is the book off the list to go for. I'm down to my last book. This is another graphic novel, and it's Nimona. Now, this is one I read back in college, so it's been a while, but I just remember really loving the take that they did in this book, because everything is kind of flipped. You have a villain who has a random girl show up one day that wants to be his sidekick. And their quest is to obviously take the hero down and show that he's not much of a hero after all. But when you get to really learn the background of the villain and the girl that wants to be a sidekick, who's a shapeshifter, you just really kind of see more into their hearts and who they are as characters. It has a very unexpected ending, but a very wholesome message considering it's a book about villains. I don't think if you're looking for like a dark book about villains, this is it. So here we go. 7 books you can read if you're looking for a quest. We've got some traditional ones. We got some that are a little bit darker, and we got some classics. So let me know if you read any of these. Let me know if you have a good quest recommendation, because I'm always on the lookout for more. And I'll see you later. Bye, guys.